Hey guys, welcome back to the Hear Me Roar pod. I am Tobi and my co-host is none other than the Kate Save, which you might know her from Shark Tank. She's also founder of BeFit Foods and picked up Telstra's Business of the Year award too. Kate?
Well, Tobi, you've got a super impressive CV, 25 years in global commercialisation experience, and you founded Creative Cubes, Australia's leading co-working space and real estate business.
All right, let's get on with the pod.
Tobi, what's going on in your world this week?
Well, I'm a little bit underwhelmed at the moment. When I open up my social media feed, there's no photos of Kate in Africa. There's no stories with rhinos and leopards and all that sort of stuff. It was very entertaining while you're away.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Do you know only 1 in 10 million people get to go on one of those rhino dehorning experiences? And that may sound shocking to people, but literally their horn is like a toenail.
Yep.
And it's a completely painless process. But they get helicopters, they put the rhinos to sleep. So there's 2 of them they put to sleep. There was a team of 30 of us and we go out there and they chainsaw off the horn of the rhino so the poachers don't kill the rhinos for their horns, right, and they don't die a torturous death. And these horns grow back. I think it's every 18 months or something like that. So they grow straight back. It's like a toenail. But it stops them from being killed because they're so endangered. They're unbelievable. And the part of that was so special for me is they asked me to come up after that the horn had been taken off, sit in the face of this giant rhino, and I had to paint, I think it was collagen actually, on the end of the horn to sort of protect it from the sun or something like that. And then they go, you've got about 2.5 minutes and he will wake up. And literally we just had to get out of there as quick as we could. He just starts waking up and walks off, and there's another one not far by. He wakes up, they find each other and they trot off into the sunset. And I was like, oh. So obviously when I'm in the face of the rhino, you can touch it and rub it and feel it, and behind its ears it's all soft and it's like great big lips and this giant beast. And it was such a moment. I felt like sadness that because of humans we need to do this. And how could a human kill such a beautiful animal? So it's pretty sad.
So it's now sad that you're back because all my entertainment's gone. But we have an amazing guest coming up on the show. You didn't know that I knew him.
No.
And he doesn't know maybe that I've known his wife since I was probably 10.
You are so well connected.
Super. It's wild. Actually, I was telling Maddie the other day, like, I know everyone, but I only hang out with like 4 people, which are my girls. But Guy Greenstone has built a phenomenal business in Stomping Ground.
I must say, I passed it at the airport many times and ended up at the new Moorabbin one. It's not probably new to him, but it's new to me.
No, it's great.
For a birthday party for a 3-year-old the other day. And it was amazing for kids and adults.
Yes. So we're going to learn all about Stomping Ground and Guy just after this break, thanks to our sponsors at Rise. Guys, I want to introduce you to Rise, a business cohort like no other. So what is the Rise Network? Rise Network is a curated inner circle of 10 to 12 like-minded peers designed to provide a confidential, high-trust environment where business owners and leaders can gain strategic insights, actionable solutions, and lasting relationships. Rise isn't just networking, it's a game-changing business support system. It has strategic problem solving built in, expert facilitation, actionable insights, long-term impact and authentic relationships, and it's based exclusively around high-trust cohorts. For your membership, you gain full access to Creative Cubes. That means you can drop in when you're on the run to use the meeting rooms, breakout spaces, or even just dock in for the day. We wanted to serve the underserved, the people that do need the help, do need the support, don't necessarily have the funds to be able to do it, and don't necessarily fit into one of these other organizations. And so that's where Rise kind of came from. So there you have it, guys. Go to werise.au, and I hope to see you at one of our cohorts soon. So I got the memo that you were coming on, so I put green on.
Well, you look great. Now, I should have, I feel like I'm a bit underdressed. I forgot it was on camera. So
No, you're right.
I've got a T-shirt underneath.
Most of it's
Yeah,
consumed
right on the couch.
via Spotify or Apple Podcasts, but we do a YouTube clip as well. We're here to talk about Stomping Ground. I'm a huge fan, but I don't drink alcohol, so like I just admire from the sideline at the business that you've built. How did it start?
Oh, geez, it's a long story. How far do you want to go back?
Well, you and I both grew up in Sydney.
We did.
I was east, you were north.
Yes.
But sister schools.
Yes. Yes, I moved here in 2001. Actually, I was working for a beer company. It was Lion was the beer company, and as an engineer.
Chemical engineer.
Chemical
I
engineer.
read that.
There you go.
Got to be smart to make beer.
It was my first job out of uni, and you could either go into mining or pharmaceuticals, or you could go into food. I chose to go into brewing, and all my friends were very envious. There was a massive sort of selection process. I think 1,500 applicants because everybody wanted to work in beer. Yeah. So I was very stoked to get the opportunity, and I started on a graduate program. So I moved from first in the production side of things of the business, in the filtration part of the process, and then they move you around in these graduate programs, which was amazing. So the next opportunity was in corporate strategy, which I loved because it was all about thinking outside the square. Where are the growth opportunities? It was much more commercial side of the business as opposed to manufacturing. And then I was kind of at the time thinking I want to get into, I want to be a company man. And when I looked at the upper echelons of the company, the people that had really gone quite high had a stint in sales. So I thought, well, I've got to have a crack at sales. So put my hand up for a job in sales, and they moved me down to Melbourne. And that was in 2001 because Lion's market share in Melbourne was very small compared with the overall market share, ambient market share in the country. So they felt that Victoria was really a growth opportunity for them to pick up market share. So they were being very aggressive in the marketplace. And so we had almost carte blanche to go and just win business. So it was a very exciting time to be in Melbourne, and to come to Melbourne, which is, I think, one of the best cities in the world, if not the best, is, with that sort of mandate to just go and do deals and,
Sell.
and sell was amazing. So I got to
not just sell beer. Sure. Come on, how hard can that be?
Are you wildly passionate about beer? I mean, now it's a whole different game, but like to start off, it was like...
Yeah, I think my passion for beer was really ignited during that time with Lion because they had James Squire, which at the time was one of the very first sort of craft beers that was available in the market, and the beer scene in Australia was very young and hadn't really sort of started to take off, and it was only years later that it really went nuts. My passion for beer definitely was ignited at that point in time. And so when I came to Melbourne, I tended to really focus on those more crafty type beers that were, had a lot of flavour. I also fell in love with beer in Canada. I have to say, I was snowboarding in Canada. I fell in love with beer there.
I did see that part of the story. And then you created Gabs. Well, Gabs is somewhere in there, the Great Australian, or GATS.
Gabs,
there's a
you're
tap
right.
in something. Gabs,
yeah, it's spectacular.
Spectacular.
So Great
that's
Australasian beer spectacular.
There
that's
we
right.
go.
Yeah, but before that we started in hospitality. So that was our birth in hospitality. And,
so hold on. You're at Lion.
Yes.
You're doing sales, lighting up Victoria.
Yes.
How did you then go, I'm going to leave the comfort of this like blue ocean in opportunity and start my own thing?
Great question. So before that happened, I was only supposed to be in Melbourne for 2 years. And then at the end of 2000, or about halfway through 2003, I met Claudia. And I thought, she's pretty cool. And I was supposed to take another role back in Sydney, which was a marketing role as a brand manager. I wasn't ready to go yet. I thought this could have some opportunities. And at the same time, a really good mate of mine was opening up a finance company from Sydney down here. And he said, I really need someone to help me sort of launch this finance company. Will you help me out? So I did. And I ended up working in finance for the next sort of 5 years, completely unrelated to beer. And that was an amazing experience because it gave me exposure to so many different businesses. And I started to learn things around people's P&Ls, what makes a business profitable. I was still very focused in hospitality, but also lots of other businesses as well. Yeah. And so I sort of started falling in love with business and not just beer and hospitality, having been,
And Claudia.
And Claudia, of course. And so, and what my local venue was called the St Kilda Local. The owner there was a bloke called Steve, and he and I became really good mates. And I was always trying to get him to get better beer on tap. And then one day he said to me, hey, would you be interested in going into business together? And we could open up a specialty beer venue. And I said, absolutely, let's do it. So we tried to find a place in Richmond. In fact, we found one. At the 11th hour, that site fell through. And we decided to actually approach the landlord and build up. So we knocked the entire building down. We just left the facade and we built the local tap house in St Kilda. And that was in 2007, we knocked it down. 2008, we opened the doors to the local tap house in St Kilda.
It's amazing. And so then the progression from there to what it is now, Stomping Ground. And
yeah, so there's a couple of stepping stones. I don't know how much how much detail you want me to go into.
I want to know it all, mate.
Okay.
There's the beer festival in there.
Yeah. So the way that happened, I mean, it's funny. We were quite naive at the time, as one always is when back in the day, and we were in love with our own brand, the local tap house, and we thought that a little bit like the Hard Rock Cafe, we could have one in every city. So we'll have one in Sydney, we'll have one in Brisbane, we'll have one in Perth, and so the next one, a year later, we opened one up in Sydney, in Darlinghurst, and that went super well as well. They were just relaxing the laws there. But then pretty soon we realised it was actually quite hard to run a hospitality business far away. Yeah. And also there's a lot of the synergies that you get from having multiple venues disappear when they're geographically, dispersed. You don't get to share staff, you don't get to share suppliers, you don't get to do any of those sorts of things. So we still loved it and it was great. And one of the things that we would do was have these festivals at the pubs, and they were always themed. So it was an Italian spectacular, it was a Canadian spectacular, and it was an American spectacular, Kiwi spectacular, and then one day we came up with the idea of an Australian spectacular, the Great Australian Spectacular, or known as GABS. And we decided to invite a whole bunch of brewers to make a beer especially for the event, because we thought, let's ramp it up. And it absolutely went nuts. Everyone in the industry was just falling over themselves to come along and check it out. It was right at the beginning of this huge uplift in craft beer, independent beer in Australia, and all the who's who of the brewing industry at the time, which was still quite young. Everybody showed up. We couldn't fit more people in the door, and it really gave us emboldened us to take the festival off-site. And so we went and got the Royal Exhibition Building in Carlton.
Just a small step, no risk there.
Well, that's my business partner always loved to think big. So Steve was like, "Yep, we'll go out and we'll get the the Royal Exhibition Building." So we did that. We ran the festival for the first time off-site in 2012. Yeah, having run it the year before on site at the two pubs. And it was great. We got 10,000 people that came along, and it was the birth of a festival that's still running today. So
good. And you had international visitors.
That's right. So the timing of it was really quite amazing, because there's the biggest annual beer awards in the world is called the Australian International Beer Awards, run by Royal Melbourne Agricultural Society. And that's always in May. And then there was also another festival that was starting up called Good Beer Week, which was more of a grassroots festival. So because the AIBAs were there and Good Beer Week were there, it would attract international visitors, all brewers from America, from Norway, you name it. And so that was a really good time. The whole of Melbourne was alive during that week of May, where Good Beer Week was happening, the AIBAs was happening, and GABS was happening as well.
How dirty is Lion at you now?
Well, it's funny. I've still got friends from Lion, like Kiralee Waldhorn, who was known as the Beer Diva. She now works for the Royal Melbourne Agricultural Society, and she's still a friend of mine. I've got other friends. One of my really good mates in the syndicate was a mate from Lion, so we're still mates.
So Lion didn't acquire GABS. Someone else acquired GABS.
Someone else acquired GABS. That's right.
Well, that would have been a good round story.
Yeah. So that was actually acquired in 2019.
Right.
So after we started up in Melbourne, a couple of years later we took it to Sydney, and it went really well there. Then we took it to Auckland, being the Great Australasian Beer Spectacular. We figured we needed a New Zealand component. We introduced the Australasian the first time we took it off site. And then we took it to Brisbane as well. So we built it up to a festival that attracted about 60,000 people every year. And and it was just what was great about it was just a celebration of beer. It was a celebration of the creativity of brewers, and we also wanted to do it in a way that was, beer was always front and center, but there had to be great entertainment, there had to be great food, lots of great activities and
that
fun.
whole experience is
exactly right.
And you've replicated that in the Stomping Ground too, the experience. But tell us, so you exit.
Yeah, well, so experience, is a really important word for us, and I'll come back to that in a minute.
Yeah.
But so those festivals were happening at the same time, and then while they were happening, we also had learnt so much about beer and what consumers were looking for, and it really made us want to sort of create a brand that took everything that we'd learnt from the local tap houses and from the Gabs Festival, and turned it into a brewery and a brand that we could that really kind of captured all of everything that we'd learned and create something that we were really super proud of. And so that's where the idea of Stomping Ground was born. So,
amazing.
Yeah, we wanted to create a place where people felt comfortable and at home. Stomping Ground it's an old familiar haunt. It's a place where people sort of have a bit of a sense of nostalgia over, and we wanted to create a place where people could come along, gather, try amazing beers, but also in an environment that was that paid as much attention to the hospitality offering as it did to the beer offering.
I must say the food selection was great when I was there 2 weeks ago at Moorabbin. It was awesome. And to be able to bring your family and kids, like when we saw the invite for a third birthday party, we were like, a brewery. Okay, this is innovative.
It's really cool.
And it was
really
so
cool.
good. The kids had a ball and we had a ball. It's great.
Great. Well, it's kind of by design, we want it to be broadly appealing, and that's not just because it's a scattergun approach. It's just that the whole brand ethos is about being inclusive and bringing everyone along for the ride and being sharing.
Yeah.
So if we can even though beer again is the champion, we still have wine, we still have spirits, we have a full commercial kitchen, and we have quite a great sort of range of food. But we wanted to be able to, if someone's not into beer but they want to come along, they can still come along. They can bring their kids.
Yeah.
We've got something for everyone. So it means that we can attract quite a wide range of people and come and share our love of beer with them.
Yeah, so couple things for me. Definitely, if you've been to Melbourne and you've landed at the Virgin Terminal,
Terminal 3.
You'll see a Stomping Ground there. I think that's, if anyone's like, where have I seen this before? It's absolutely at the Virgin Terminal. I've seen your product in retail as well.
Yes.
I think it was where I was yesterday. Would it be in Woolies? No.
Yes, it's now called Endeavour Drinks Group, which was a spin-off of Woolies. So they've got BWS and Dan Murphy's.
Yeah.
So yes, we're in those retailers.
But where was I? I was somewhere and I was like, damn, he's on here as well. He's coming on the show tomorrow. I can't remember where it was. But then in terms of venues, you've got Collingwood.
Collingwood is original. And
Moorabbin?
the local tap house in St Kilda we still have.
Oh, okay.
Then we've got the beer hall in Collingwood. We've got a beer hall in Moorabbin.
Yes.
Which is the one that you when you visited, Kate.
Very cool. And didn't expect it to pop out of all the warehouses. You're driving around going, where am I on a Saturday afternoon?
Yeah, it's actually that precinct is phenomenal. There's a
Morris Moore,
but there's a Royal Stacks is there.
Huh.
Yes.
There's some really great.
So cool.
Yeah, there's Pony Boy, and there's also now I can't remember. But
by the way, that Morris Moore facility is home to New Balance.
Oh,
yes.
So New Balance HQ in Australia is.
Can you see what shoes I'm wearing?
Yeah, me too.
There you go.
Actually, I went even further. I think I've got a pair of New Balance socks on.
It doesn't count when you've got like 300 pairs of runners, right?
They're New Balance.
We actually want to do a beer
of them
collaboration with them,
Ooh.
and then maybe a shoe collaboration as well. So,
Man, I've been asking them to sponsor me for ever and a day. If you get in there, I'll start drinking beer. I can connect you to the Australian DM, if managing director, if you want.
Well, he's over at Morris Moore, right?
Yes.
So I've met him.
You've met him? Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Nice guy. And anyway, so that was an old tobacco factory.
Yes.
And so it was Philip Morris Tobacco Factory.
Oh my goodness!
That's right.
I thought I knew that because I've been there before. I actually did a nutrition presentation there as a student. I thought this is an odd. Like I'm 19, 20. This is a long time ago, and I pulled up there and did a nutrition presentation
At Philip Morris?
At Philip
Oh,
Morris.
wow.
Yep.
Yeah,
There you
and I
go.
thought it was just so odd. People are killing themselves.
Yeah, we
with cancer
couldn't.
sticks and-
Yeah, we couldn't get our act together to do something on that property. I tried a few times, but it just didn't work. But so you've got 3 venues plus the
So
the
those
airport.
are the 3 venues owned. We also have a couple that operate under license with a licensed partner. They're a big operator called Delaware North.
Yes.
And they operate the stadiums like the MCG and like Marvel Stadium.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where I was.
And they
At the G? Oh, maybe I was at a Melbourne Victory game.
There you go.
Melbourne United, maybe.
No,
we
no.
sponsor Melbourne United, which is a
We sponsor the
Southside
Phoenix.
Flyers here.
oh, there
You
you
got to
go.
come to the Phoenix game, mate.
Oh well, then we're enemies, right?
Frenemies.
Frenemies. So there's one at the Virgin Terminal, which is a Stomping Ground branded Terminal 3, and then
Yes.
we've also got a local tap house venue in the Qantas Terminal as well.
Right.
So there's 5 venues altogether.
Yeah.
And then the majority of our production happens in Collingwood. So we've got small production at Moorabbin and a tiny production at the airport, amount of production, but most of our production, all of our canning happens in Collingwood, at the Collingwood.
And how many retailers are you distributed through today? Or like,
We've got about 2,500 distributions of our canned product, but that's more than, we count a distribution if it's a Gibbs Street Pale Ale in one store as well as a Hazy Pale, that's 2 distributions. So we're in all of the major banners. We're also in all of the IBA banners, which is the independent banners that buy through ALM, which is owned by Metcash. So that includes IGA, Celebrations,
Ritchie's.
Bottle-O, Ritchie's, which is a subgroup of the IGAs.
Cornets and Drakes and all
Yeah,
of
and
them.
Foodworks, etc. So independents are still our largest channel. But the other 2 majors are very important channels for us as well.
Are you
which is
exporting?
Coles Liquor Juice. No export. We don't even export to New South Wales.
so you're just in Victoria?
We're just in Victoria. That's right.
2,500 outlets through Victoria.
Yeah, that's right. We made a decision like quite a long time ago that rather than going really wide and thin, we'd rather go deep and stay really kind of at local. There's consumer trends towards localism, as well as it's much. I think you can be much more effective when you kind of concentrate your
Mate,
efforts.
I fully agree with you. In the Cubes venture, we're heavily operated in Victoria, about to jump the border into South Australia and to New South Wales. But I had this thought when I was running my pet business. We were in 156 countries. And I was like, this is amazing. But actually, like, the spread is just too far. It's just like I light up West Coast when I'm in LA. And then when I fly to New York, I light up there. But then the West Coast is like, and then I go to Japan and Singapore and Hong Kong and Brazil. It's just, it's too much. I love your hyper-local focus.
Amazing thought.
Yeah, we really feel that there's so much more growth left for us here in Melbourne and Victoria, and it is a big point of difference. I don't think there's many of our people that are, that we would consider competitors that are purely focused on Victoria. So there are other breweries that are bigger than us in our space, but not necessarily bigger than us in Melbourne, in Victoria.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And, just thinking about it, like when I came back from the US after 10 years, I was exhausted, man. I was doing 150,000 miles on the airplane just to keep up with what needed to happen. And when I started Creative Cubes, I was like, I just want to be local. I just want to be 15 minutes from home at all times.
Yes.
The fact that you've done that and have built such a phenomenal business, and you're just in Victoria, I say that lightly, like there's millions of people here.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they're consuming, 10 cans a week per customer or something to that effect. It's still a relatively sized large business.
Yeah, it's for us it's easier. It's so much easier to focus our efforts, and it really allows us to go. It's not never say never, but in order to ever go beyond, we'd really want to feel as though we'd almost reached our limit of growth here in Melbourne and Victoria.
And can I ask you, like, if you were to jump the border, sure your family wants you back home. I know family here, but we're both from Sydney, and people are like, why are you going to open up in Sydney? Like, because my mum's nagging me to come home. But logistically, like, can you freight?
Yes, it's easy.
No, I understand the logistics of shipping,
Yes.
but like, would you not have to have a brewery local in New South Wales to be able to supply at the same price?
At the same price, we can still supply. We would just take a little bit of a margin hit on the freight. And that's part of the reason. We did dabble in interstate markets, in Sydney, Queensland, Brisbane, Perth, and even Adelaide. But we pulled out of it. It was only about 5% of our business, but it was the least profitable 5% because of that freight that you're talking about.
Yeah.
And also then you have all sorts of issues with stock going out of date and having to sort of bring it back. And it's just very inefficient.
I just wonder whether or not you'd have to like reinvent yourself in the New South Wales market and then reinvent yourself in the Queensland market just to avoid of all of the downsides of the freight and the logistics and also the expirations.
It's a great question. I think from a sense of place, what we would want to do is have bricks and mortar, so a venue that was a base and a home, and we became authentically part of the fabric of that city.
Yeah.
But in terms of production, it doesn't make sense to have different production in different places because production and manufacturing is all about scale.
Sure.
Yeah.
And if you start splitting up that scale into one production here, one production there, you lose all of those economies of scale. So production has to happen in a centralised fashion.
We have the same issue because we deliver nationally across Australia with BeFit food, and every state has its different.
You guys are
costs
like
and-
you guys are like Melbourne United and Phoenix, like the healthy and the healthy and
That's right.
Well, once they've got a beer belly, they come to us. So keep drinking, guys.
go.
I'm also in the fitness space, so I'm also
Yes.
the poison and the antidote.
BFT, right?
There you go.
You're involved in BFT.
BFT, yeah.
Sorry, Kate, I interrupted you.
No,
Yeah, no, you
no,
carry on.
good. And I was just thinking too, warehousing is actually an issue too because it appears cheaper to warehouse in every state, right? But that's a volume game too because you have to ship it up there and then have the pallet spaces, then have the right selection of SKUs that people are
Do you know what?
purchasing.
I fully agree with that.
Yeah.
However, my company got acquired by one of the biggest biggest product manufacturers in the pet space.
Yeah.
Back in 2012. And I had an East Coast and a West Coast, and I had something out of Hong Kong. And then these guys, $500 million in revenue, one warehouse.
One warehouse,
One
yeah.
warehouse.
We do one warehouse as well. And one kitchen and ship everything from Victoria across Australia. I must say WA, love the customers there and Darwin, but God, it's expensive to get food that far across Australia.
Yeah, I'm trying to get some couches from a local, actually, they're no longer at Morris Moore, Shots Emporium.
Ah, right.
You're
Yes,
sitting on
they're just
Shots
leaving.
So these are all Shots furniture, and I'm trying to take that all to South Australia.
Yeah. So
expensive.
expensive.
Logistics is so
absolutely.
expensive.
We should
Do
all
you
have
ship
trucking.
refrigerated?
Chilled, yeah. Chilled and frozen.
That makes it even...
It's so expensive.
Interstate, we were going chilled.
Yeah.
Local, because they pick it up and it's already cold.
Yeah.
By the time they deliver it, it's still cold. But we try to keep everything cold as much as we can.
Yeah, and packaging costs us a fortune to keep it at temperature
no
and
doubt.
everything as well. It kills me to open a box and a liner and an ice pack or two in summer and not be able to reuse them. It drives me insane. So Facebook Marketplace, I'm always want some of these things, come and reuse them.
Yeah,
So,
right.
Guy,
BFT,
Yes.
last bit.
well,
What
I was
do
going
you
to
do
say
there?
you're feeding them with amazing beer, and then you're offering them a workout after that, or how does that work out?
Well, yeah, okay. So no, the BFT thing sort of happened kind of weirdly during COVID, and because I'm in the hospitality space and I'm in the beer space, you kind of end up going out a lot and and having a few beers, and so you have to look after yourself, otherwise you end up like massive. So I was always participating, and then I loved it so much, and I found it so life changing because of just the fitness and the health, and absolutely loved it. That one day a trainer was leaving and he wanted to do his own thing. I said, did he want backing? And we ended up, I ended up going out actually on my own, finding some other business partners because we kind of decided it wasn't going to, he wanted a different brand, and I discovered BFT, and I really fell in love with the concept of BFT. So ended up investing in some franchises. So I've got 4 franchises now. I actually at one point had more, but we got rid of the CBD because COVID killed it. And then we sold one in as well in Hawthorne.
So what have you got now? Which 4?
I've got Elsternwick,
Yes.
South Melbourne,
Yep.
Ashburton, and also one that we're just about to open up in Albert Lake. But our group has 8 because there's a few. There's one in Brighton, Hampton, Fitzroy, and I think that's it.
Great locations. Awesome.
Amazing. I mean, similar parallel lives with Orange Theory.
That's right.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
but we didn't make it. Did I see BFT in Los Angeles?
Yes, I think so. So there's they got acquired, or at least they got acquired by a company called, as in the franchisor, called, oh geez, it'll come to me in a sec. But as a result, they kept the head franchise rights for the whole of the world except for the US. And then these guys are sort of.
Was it WeCo Fit?
No, it's not WeCo Fit. It's it'll come to me in a second.
Australian or global brand?
It's a global brand.
Global,
yeah,
right.
and they've got all sorts of fitness assets right across the board. But it's a great product, and it's they're innovating all the time, and it's it's sticky, it's group training, so it's very community based. It's actually got a lot in common with Stomping Ground and the Tap House because, like a lot of things, it's all about community.
And it's craft beer as well, so it's that experience, and
experience,
BFT's an
yes.
experience, yeah.
So is that what got you there? Is it like, or are you a health nut, and BFT was amazing, or did you like the community aspect, or it was just a great product and you're like, I want to back?
It was more
founders?
it was the health side of things, and just I've always been quite into fitness and exercise, and I just found that this product was amazing. So I love the product. But we were talking about experience before, Kate, and just one thing I just wanted to say about that is that in a world where there's so many things, whether it's cars or all the gadgets, etc. One of the things that I think we all, certainly the things that resonate with me and our team, is creating experiences for people, whether they're celebrating a birthday or whether it's an experience because they're just having a great time, a picnic in the park. It's memories, and that's at the end of your life.
Yes,
it's those experiences that really kind of.
Your money doesn't go with you.
Exactly. No point in being the richest person in the cemetery.
And
right?
that would be a very sad plaque. Richest person, no friends, no experiences.
Yeah, so you want to live, and we feel that our product, whether it's the pub or whether it's the the beer hall or whether it's the beer itself, kind of facilitates those experiences and helps create those experiences where people remember all those celebrations, catch up with friends, whatever it might be. Those are the things that really.
That was my epiphany from the Africa trip, was that life is about experiences, not what you have, and that over there they have nothing, but they're having a great time. That's like they're having a great time dancing in bare feet with nothing.
Everybody
and we're
dies.
having a great time.
Everybody dies, but not everybody lives.
Yeah.
Yes, and so we got to live, and so we got to, and that's what we want to do. So our brand is really about the experiences, but it's also celebrating Melbourne's culture, and that celebrating word is kind of it's about experiences. So.
Man, so proud. Good on you. You've done really well.
Thank you.
Yeah, I hope you reflect and sort of take stock of how far you've come and all the great things that you're doing, and it's not just emotion, like you're going through emotions. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Toby. It feels like we've got a long way to go. I mean, you know what it's like, raising capital, always looking at how to improve things, and sometimes you do sort of feel as though there's a mountain still to climb. But it is nice to every now and then look back at the view and say I've actually climbed a fair way already.
Well, you totally have, and I'm grateful that you spent the time with us today. I've been admiring your journey. We've had a few conversations in the dark times during COVID. We're both getting the crap kicked out of us. Yeah. But it's great. You're sitting on the couch, you're smiling, you're thriving. Things are good. I'm so happy and so glad for you.
Thanks, Toby, and thanks, Kate, for asking me here. I love catching up, and we need to talk more because I want to hear much more about BeFit.
Cool.
Well,
it's BeFit, right?
Yeah,
it is.
BeFit.
Yeah.
But we also like his daughter, Coco.
Frankie? The singer, you mean?
Yeah.
Frankie and Maddie sing together.
My daughter Maddie, they sing together.
Amazing. I did listen to you had an Instagram post with Maddie singing. It was incredible. So good.
Yeah, but Frankie, next level.
Wow.
Maddie's looking up to Frankie quite a lot. It's great.
So good.
So yeah.
Coco's
All right.
the actor.
Right.
We've got to get her a plate as well.
Hang on, you were on Neighbours. Did we forget to talk about this? And a mystery Blake something, another show, a
That's
murder
right. Jeez,
show or
you've done your
something
homework.
Like that.
Yeah.
Did we forgot this? Who were you on
I am
Neighbours?
a frustrated actor as well. I was a very small role in about 3 episodes in Neighbours. My wife, Claudia, actually spent 6 months on Neighbours.
Now it's all making sense.
Yeah.
Claudia's also.
Claudia's an
phenomenal
actor. I'm an actor as well. I'm more of a frustrated actor. She's more of a working actor all the time. I love it, but I'm so busy doing the other stuff. I don't really have the time. I do some TV commercials and stuff, which is kind of
For
embarrassing.
Stomping or just as
No,
side-
just
side
like
hustles?
just as an actor for hire. They just I look like the bloke next door. That's I suppose relatable. so I get
good.
a few.
That's
a few
amazing.
Be
jobs.
good for a beer ad, right?
you know what's
Tradies, truck drivers. That's what I generally.
So I have a group chat with my next door neighbors, and I went and screen grabbed because everyone in my phone has to have a photo. Everyone, and if you don't have a photo in my phone, it actually I have to delete you because like it was just a one-off text from someone, or if you're going to stay in my phone book, you have to have your poster and everything.
Okay.
And my next door neighbors and I have the Ramsey Street logo as neighbors as our family, as our group chat with their family and our family and neighbors. I didn't know that one.
Very cool.
That's really cool.
Nearly got away with it.
Guys, quick word from Luna and we'll be back after this break.
weareluna.co is a great place for you and your business to start off with phenomenal accounting and legal services. So if you're a startup or a scale-up looking for legal and finance support, or alternatively looking to raise capital, weareluna.co is where you need to be starting off.
Kate, another awesome superstar that you brought on today.
So cool to think creating a space where people are always happy. Like you're not going to the brewery on a bad day, typically. Are you having a good time?
Well, you might go there to drown your sorrows, but if you walk into a stomping ground, your bad mood's not going to stick.
Yeah, you need store play to make sure your tunes are rocking some good vibes.
Amazing. Yeah, he's done so phenomenally well. A guy and I spoke a little bit during COVID. We're actually around the corner from each other in Collingwood. Our kids sing together. I've known Claudia forever. And I think our kids also went to school together at one period of time as well. Shout out to Gardenvale Primary. But we spoke in some dark times during COVID, and it's just so great to see him on the other side, kicking goals, thriving, smiling, and enjoying himself.
Absolutely, because a lot of businesses, not only did they not get through COVID, but they're still falling over, particularly in hospitality, post-COVID effect. I've got a heap of friends that have just exited because of the damage of COVID and they haven't recovered.
Well, actually, Guy's specific category, which is the microbrewery, had a really hard time. There was a lot of headlines through COVID. My next door neighbor actually owns the St. Andrews Brewery.
Oh, yeah.
And, I was speaking with him quite a bit during the pandemic, and things were really tough. So to understand, like no one was guaranteed to get through, but to see Guy and his team come through, like it's not by chance. You can see he lives and breathes it, but I do believe good people win in the end.
And I see why he's got the BFT. If he's going to have a beer and he's got to be on TV, he's got to do his work
BFT, Shout out to BFT. I see them everywhere.
Yeah.
Is there one down in your area?
Oh, everywhere.
Yeah.
People are obsessed.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, it's a cult.
All right, guys, that's been another phenomenal episode. If you want to connect with Guy, I'm going to link all of the details in the show notes below. So go check out Stomping Ground, BFT, Guy's episodes on Neighbours. I'll try and dig up some stuff and try and find some episodes
Sounds good.
to link in the show notes. Have a nice day and thanks for spending some time with us.